Good afternoon on what is a mild, bright day. It is Monday, January the 3rd. It is 2022, and I'm back in the Read Nook with a cat who is not ours. And a nice hot cup of tea, of course. And the next thing I'm going to unbox comes from this package. Now, I've already been into this one before, and you may notice on the front there are some interesting stamps which you might recognize as coming from Brazil. So this is from Diogo Nogueira, and I have already pulled out a little game called SwordQuest. Okay, SwordQuest, a fantasy adventure game which fits on this. Basically, effectively it's one sheet of A4, but it's been folded down to this little pamphlet. So what we've got here is that's the front. Open up, you have character creation on the page spread. Then you have playing the game, rules for combat on the other. Then over we've got guide to running the game, the luck roll, and character sheet on the back. Now that is it. That was all that was in there, and I was a bit disappointed that there was nothing on the back. But nevertheless, let's see if I can fold this back up, because essentially these things do take a little bit of careful folding. There is a supplement for it, SwordQuest Addendum, optional rules, and it uses the same format. So I'm just going to check to see. Okay, first scramble, nothing on the inside. Fine. Okay, let's putting that aside. Essentially, it adds things for adversity tokens. So when a player character fails a test, he gets a token, and then they can be spent basically to add dice to the rolls, to any test, or give it to others. And it requires a bit of narration upon the part of the player, because essentially whether or not he's using it for his own character or passing it to someone else, essentially representing help or aid. Pushing the roll. If they fail the test, essentially they can push the roll. And essentially the player explains what's happening, what his character is putting at risk in order to earn that push. Helping out, rules for helping out, making an effort, and PCs can spend an amount of vitality points to add the same amount to a test result. And then we've got notes here on exploration. So basically, characters can move 120 feet per 10 minutes or one turn. So automatically, you're kind of talking here. Essentially, SwordQuest, it's for Dungeons and Dragons. It's all Dungeons and Dragons style games. So you could take an adventure and sort of run it using these rules with a bit of adjustment. So exploration and resting, classic dungeon crawling activities, spellcasting. To cast a spell, a PC must have an appropriate spellbook and describe the effect in line with its description. The game master determines the difficulty for a test and the vitality cost, and essentially on its success the spell works. Okay, and there may be side effects and setbacks depending upon spells, and then we have a spellcasting difficulty and guide on back. So this sort of like feels as an addendum to this, it sort of feels like, well, you kind of need it. Just as if this is taking the rules basically continuing the rules one step further to like being a bit more of a rounded game. And there's nothing to say you cannot run a game just using the core rules. Okay, this adds extra context. I mean, obviously, in some ways, it's rules and content which you could create your own yourself if you basically just had a copy of this and just basically developed yourself. But the author's done it for you, so you can add this to your game, as is your want. This is the addendum, and it's very nicely done. I really like, it's on a stiff paper. It folds out nicely, and basically nice little booklet. and everything's very clear. Done slightly sort of like the font is slightly cartoonish, but that's fine. It just gives it, makes it, it's still simple and easy to read. It gives it a feel for all of its own. So that's a short video there for SwordQuest Addendum. I will be looking at the other contents of this package as we go along, so expect more from here. So there'll be a nice little series of short videos. In the meantime, yeah, track these down. Basically, and you've got yourself a little mini game which you can play to your full heart's content. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this unboxing. If you have, please click the like button down below. In the meantime, if you've got any comments or feedback, I appreciate you posting those. And of course, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings where you will see me with a parcel or an envelope like that, then and see me pull out a game or a book, which I will talk about to the best extent of my knowledge for 10 minutes or so. This video is much shorter, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea and a cat who is not ours. Then please do click that subscribe button. Lastly, thanks again for watching, and I'll be back again soon with another unboxing in the Nook. Bye for now.